So doing this show was really a really compelling experience for a lot of us because we were telling veteran stories, and a lot of us had personal connections to veterans in many ways. And my dad is a vet. He served in the Air Force. He was an Air Force fighter pilot, flew A-10 bombers, or A-10 fighters, and I was actually born while he was stationed in Mississippi, and so I grew up respecting the military, and in fact, I'm running the Houston Marathon in January, and thank you. I'm running to raise money for the USO, so I'm really pumped. I'm almost halfway there. I'm trying to raise $10,000. So if you'd like to, I know you paid to get here tonight, but if you'd consider, there's a link on my Instagram account, or you can go to tinyurl.com/CottRunsHouston. That's tinyurl.com/CottRunsHouston. See me later if you want the link or whatever. But yeah, it's a great cause, and Joe actually did something similar too.
Yeah, I ran the New York City Marathon on November 5th. And a ton of people here tonight donated. It's crazy. I raised less than $10,000. Corey's an overachiever, but no, it's all for a great cause. I ran for TAPS. And TAPS is a wonderful organization that we got to know through Bandstand. They help the families of who are left behind when a service member does not come home. And they do also wonderful programs, and one thing that they do is they offer like a night out, a night of relief, a night of fun. They bring survivors to sporting events, and just this year they started bringing survivors to Broadway shows, one of which was Bandstand, and the other so far has been Come From Away, which my girlfriend Alex is in Come From Away. She's down there. But no, so they're an amazing organization. We're so lucky to get to work with them.
We got to meet the woman who started TAPS, Bonnie, and several other Gold Star widows who lost their husbands in battle. And it was amazing for me, especially playing a war widow on stage, getting to hear their stories and see their strength and ask them questions. They were very, very open with me, and that was just really an honor to get to come back to the show every night and get to try to tell their stories as truthfully as possible.
And the writers of the show, Richard and Rob Taylor and Richard Oberacher, were really passionate about expressing and kind of exposing PTSD. And there's obviously a big part of our show, and very proud to say that we were the first ever Broadway show to be Got Your Six certified. Got Your Six certified, and thank you. And with Annie Blankenbuehler's amazing choreography, we also he was able to take home his third Tony Award.
So being Six certified, it was obviously very important to us that we got it right, and it was important to us when veterans came to the show that they felt accurately represented and honored by our work. And so they would come up to us regularly at the autograph line, and we'd get a chance to, they'd make themselves known, and we'd take them backstage, introduce them, and show them around. And just a way for us to get back to them and to hear some of their stories. And Nate's actually got a great one.
We had a guy, after one show, at the curtain call, he stood up, he was in the front row, just behind our then music director, Fred Lassen, and he goes, I'm a vet. And he saluted the whole cast, and he started shaking hands, and so everyone was close to tears at that point anyways. And then Fred turned around and was like, would you like to meet the cast, come on stage? And he said, of course. And so he comes up, and we're kind of in a circle with him, we start talking. And he's just telling, he's a Vietnam vet, and obviously it's a different war and it's a different time, but he was telling us how he related to the disrespect that some of our characters undergo in the show, about how he was spit at in a welcome home parade, how he couldn't put veteran on his resume because he wouldn't get any work. He was telling us his daughter served in Afghanistan and she has severe PTSD. And he said our show was one of the first times that he felt proud of what he did.
Yeah. Besides getting to make great music that Greg arranged and Richard and Rob wrote, and do the amazing choreography and book of the show, we had the great honor of doing a show that meant something. And each show, to remind us of that, we would get together before the show, the curtain,
rows, and we would throw a name into a circle of us, just to remind of a veteran, to remind us whose story we are telling. And that sort of morphed into this veterans wall we had backstage at the Jacobs, which was by the stairway, which was I tried to document before the show closed. So I have big sort of 11 by 14 glossy photos of the veterans wall. We had, I don't know if they're, they're over there. We're gonna sell them for $10 tonight, and the proceeds are gonna go to TAPS. We also have
Bandstand CDs that all 7 of us signed that are available for $20 cash for merch as well, and all the profits will go to TAPS. So yeah, it was definitely very special for us to feel like we were touching hearts and changing lives every day. This next song was actually only a small verse of it was heard in the show. It's the romantic version of Welcome Home, which was the big finale number where the truth is really revealed. But before that, Julia's character rewrites the words to kind of not be so harsh, and Richard and Rob fleshed out that full version of the song, actually taking quite a few lyrics from the Cott song Worth It that you heard earlier. And we decided we would debut that one tonight, so.
Calendars I filled, crossing off the days, trying to distract myself in countless little ways. Holidays alone, left to reminisce. My imagination had to stand in for your kiss. Oceans you once crossed, now they disappear. Continents of longing vanish, soon you will be here. And my heart keeps racing, my thoughts keep fraying. But today I'll hold you and not stop saying, welcome home, my dear. Welcome home, my sweet. Welcome home, my hero. Welcome home, my heart. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. And the telegram promising you'll land safely back at home today, held tightly in my hand. Outside in the yard, snow begins to fall, whiting out the distance, making everything feel small. From the picture window where I sit and stare, is it really you who's turned the corner there? Starting for the doorway as I call your name, desperate to believe our life will be the same. Welcome home, my dear. Welcome home, my sweet. Welcome home, my hero. Welcome home, my heart. Welcome home. Welcome home. All the sleepless nights praying you'd return safely to my arms with all the honor you would earn. Letters every day sent to reassure, knowing all the dangers with the duties of the tour. Now our wait has ended, our years of yearning